All right, so
Yeah.
today we are going like deep, deep, deep into relationships.
Yeah.
You guys sent over a ton
So much.
of research and articles and books,
Well,
all this stuff. And so,
clearly you want like the real deal.
yeah, you want to get down to like
Yeah.
the nitty gritty
Yeah.
of like how relationships actually work.
Like more than surface level.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to know like the nuts and bolts.
Exactly.
How to make them thrive.
But we are going to give it to you.
We're going to try our best.
That's what this whole show is about.
Exactly.
So one of the things I noticed
Okay.
is that there's all these like different dimensions to relationships,
Mm.
like emotional and physical and
Right.
intellectual, social, all these things.
It's like a relationship has its own personality profile.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Right.
Okay.
Each relationship is going to be a little different.
Right.
You know, they'll have different combinations
Yeah.
of all those dimensions.
Okay, so like for example, the relationship you have with your mom
Right.
versus the relationship you have with your boss.
Exactly. Those are going to look very different.
Yeah, like the emotional,
Right. You're not going to have that same level of emotional connection.
probably not
Hopefully not.
with your boss.
Right. Exactly.
But with your mom, that's like
Yeah. The emotional dimension is going to be front and center.
front and center. Yeah.
But with your boss, it's going to be more professional.
Right. More like the,
The intellectual, maybe the social.
yeah.
Depending on your work environment.
So it's like all the same ingredients, but different amounts.
Exactly. It's like a recipe.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
You adjust the portions depending on what you're making.
Love it. Okay, so one thing that kept coming up
Okay.
was this idea of like
Okay.
emotional connection.
Yes.
And I feel like that's kind of,
Foundational.
yeah, like the glue
Absolutely.
that holds it all together.
Yes. Emotional connection is essential.
But what does that even mean?
Well, think about it like this. It's about feeling seen,
Okay.
understood, and valued for who you truly are.
Yeah.
Like someone really gets you at a deep level.
And how important is that?
Oh, it's crucial.
Yeah.
Research actually shows that couples
Oh, okay.
who are more emotionally responsive to each other,
Okay.
they have higher levels of satisfaction in their relationship.
That makes sense.
And they can handle conflict better
Oh, interesting.
because they have that strong foundation.
So it's not just about like
Right.
warm, fuzzy feelings.
It's not just about like the butterfly.
It's like an actual skill
Exactly.
you can develop.
Something you can work on.
I like that. Okay, so then how does that tie into
Yeah.
mutual respect?
Oh, they go hand in hand.
Okay.
Mutual respect is all about honoring each other's boundaries.
Boundaries. Okay.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
So think about it this way.
Yeah.
You have different types of boundaries.
Okay.
Physical boundaries,
Okay.
emotional boundaries, intellectual boundaries.
Nice.
So for example, let's say one partner is very private and the other is more open.
Okay.
Respecting boundaries there would mean
Yeah.
that the more private person can share at their own pace
Right.
without feeling pressure.
That makes sense.
And it also means respecting differences.
Okay.
Like if you have different opinions
Right.
or different lifestyle choices,
Okay.
you can still respect each other.
You don't have to agree on everything.
Exactly.
That's good because I feel like sometimes people think
Right.
you have to be like exactly the same
Yeah, you don't have to be clones of each other.
to have a good relationship.
Exactly. Diversity is good.
Yeah. That actually reminds me of a time when
Yeah.
I was going through something really tough
Uh-huh.
and my best friend was just there for me.
Yeah.
Like they just listened,
Yeah.
didn't judge.
Yeah, just being present.
And it was honestly like
Powerful.
the most helpful thing
Right. Sometimes that's all you need.
because I didn't need advice.
I just needed someone to listen. Just to hold space for you.
That was like the best support.
And that's a perfect illustration of
Yeah.
the power of support in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's about showing up for each other
Yeah.
through the good times and the bad.
Through thick and thin.
Exactly. Offering a listening ear,
Yeah.
maybe a shoulder to cry on,
Uh-huh.
or practical help when it's needed.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Think about your own relationships.
Okay.
When have you felt truly supported?
Hmm.
How did that impact the bond?
Yeah. I'm thinking about that.
Those moments are really special.
They really are. Yeah. Okay. So another thing we have to talk about
Okay.
is shared interests and goals.
Yeah, that came up a lot in the research.
But like,
Yeah.
what if you and your partner
Uh-huh.
have totally different passions?
That's a common question.
Yeah.
And it's okay to have different interests.
Really?
It doesn't mean the relationship is doomed.
Well,
It's not about being carbon copies of each other. It's about finding ways to support each other's pursuits
okay.
while still having some shared experiences.
Okay. So give me an example.
Sure, let's say one partner loves fitness
Okay.
and the other is a bookworm.
Right.
They could still connect
Yeah.
by maybe choosing a book about a sport
Okay.
or an athlete,
Uh-huh.
or maybe the fitness enthusiast
Yeah.
could encourage their partner to go for a walk with them
Okay.
in a beautiful park.
So it's about like finding some common ground.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh.
All right. So we've talked about all this good stuff,
Yeah, the positive side.
but we can't ignore conflict.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
it's going to happen,
It's inevitable.
right? So how do we deal with it?
The key is not to avoid conflict,
Oh,
but to learn how to communicate effectively.
during a disagreement.
Exactly.
Okay.
Active listening is so important.
What does that mean?
It means really tuning in
Okay.
to what the other person is saying.
Okay.
Not just their words, but their body language too. And trying to understand their perspective.
So it's not just about waiting for your turn to talk.
Right. It's about really hearing them.
Okay, got it.
And then when you do speak,
Yeah.
try using I statements.
Oh, yeah. Those
Instead of blaming the other person,
right.
you focus on your own feelings.
Okay.
Like, I feel hurt when this happens,
Right.
instead of, you always do this.
Okay, so it's a way to communicate
Right.
without attacking.
Exactly. It takes practice.
But it's worth it.
It can make a huge difference.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
when you're in the middle of an argument,
Right.
it's hard to think about.
Yeah, your emotions are running high.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So having these tools
It can help you stay calm.
and actually resolve the issue
Exactly.
instead of just like
All right.
making it worse.
Exactly.
And the cool thing is,
What's that?
out of that conflict
Yeah.
can come growth,
Absolutely.
not just as a couple, but also as individuals
Yeah. Relationships can push us to grow.
in ways we wouldn't expect.
Exactly. They challenge us to look at our blind spots,
Oh, that's good.
to step outside our comfort zones,
Okay.
and to develop more empathy and understanding.
Wow. Okay, so it's like a 2-for-1 deal.
You could say that.
You get a stronger relationship
Yeah.
and you become a better person.
It's a win-win.
Okay, so to recap,
Okay.
we've got these core ingredients:
Uh-huh.
emotional connection,
Yes.
mutual respect,
Absolutely.
support,
Yeah.
shared interests.
To some extent, you
Yeah.
don't have to be identical.
Exactly. And the ability to work through conflict
Constructive.
in a healthy way.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like a recipe for a healthy relationship.
A roadmap.
Yeah.
To guide you.
Love that. Okay, so what's the one thing
Mhm.
you want people to take away from this whole conversation?
Building a fulfilling relationship
Okay.
is a journey, not a destination.
Ooh, I like that.
It's ongoing.
Okay.
It requires effort and a willingness to grow,
Not just as a couple.
both individually and together.
So much good stuff.
It's been a pleasure diving deep with you.
Likewise, I feel like I learned so much,
Me too.
and I hope our listeners did too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for everyone listening out there,
Yeah.
think about your own relationships
Yes.
and how you can create that environment of support, understanding, and continuous learning.
Because the most rewarding relationships
Okay.
are often the ones that challenge us to grow.
We've got the best versions of ourselves.
Exactly.
Love it. Thanks again for joining us,
My pleasure.
and we'll see you guys next time for another deep dive.
See you then.